Innovation generally implies that a company or group of companies make profit to the detriment of competitors. This notion of innovation linked to profitability and self-interest doesn't reflect the reality of firms today, which need to couple economic growth with social and environmental issues. In the light of this contradiction, with our research, we question, can innovation be driven along with financial profitability also by societal concerns? And if this is possible, how might this kind of innovation emerge and evolve? To answer these questions, we studied a take-back and recycling scheme for mobile phones, involving an array of different companies, NGOs, institutions, and objects. We found that societal concerns are indeed able to trigger change in markets and generate innovation. However, when these social and environmental concerns are brought into play in the market, they are recoded and translated by certain actors in terms of profit potential and self-interest. These new distorted forms of concerns fail to deeply transform the marketplace. The original concerns, on the other hand, revert to being a problem for society to handle. These dynamics are clearly illustrated by our analysis of different market practices, namely representations of the market, norms established in the market, and exchange practices adopted. Let's take the example of representations, or the way different actors see and interpret the market. In our case, we see that environmental concerns initially generated messages and a vision of the market for consumers of the kind: your old phone is not simply waste, but a source of spare parts and recyclable materials, so you can avoid pollution by returning it. However, with the continued development of the take-back scheme, the environmental cause progressively became a secondary issue, and messages evolved into something which sounded like, bring back your phone and in return you will get a voucher to buy a new one. A shift in market vision then occurred, but also a shift in associated exchange practices. We noted a similar evolution in accepted norms in the market, where the focus shifted from reducing pollution in general to recuperating those rare resources with high economic value. Similarly, the choice between recycle or repair was finally dictated by software able to evaluate the financial value embedded in the devices rather than environmental risk. We were thus left with a key question. Why is the market unable to integrate societal concerns as they stand? And why does it transform them? In line with theories on the sociology of innovation, we suggest that the problem lies in conventional wisdom, translated into market practice, where market is required to be profit-based and separate from society, and concerns are not a market issue, but one for society alone to handle. This way of looking at market and society as being two separate entities is cultural and idiosyncratic with our current economic model. We suggest that only once the market-society opposition is overcome by all involved will concerns deeply integrate market innovation and policymakers be able to transform existing markets into more sustainable forms.